5 seconds remaining.
One coming.
Team Secret's turn to ban. Radiant. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team Secret's turn to pick. Radiant team pick.
Grimstroke.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Team Secret's turn to
Gyrocopter!
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team Secret's turn to ban.
Phantom Lancer.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Team Secret versus Team NIGMA, the type of Dota we love to see. And we hope that Game 2 lives up to our expectations just as much. We're ready to show you the draft, all ready for this Game 2 of a best of 3. You're watching DreamLeague Season 15, powered by Intel, joined by Kyle and by Tigo. And, well, I know you like to see us, but you're only going to see it for a short, snappy second because the draft is well underway, and I can't.
What's also pretty good? Gyro mid. What makes this combo good? Maybe you put the Eye in the safe lane, the Gyro in the mid lane, you pick a strong laner to enable the IO, and now you have a really big mid-game orientated draft once again.
10 seconds remaining.
Or they can just go support IO GH, sure.
I think
5
IO
seconds remaining.
What was the discussion? If it's core, it wins. Pretty much the
Pretty
rule.
much a rule of thumb, yeah.
But how does Carry Wisp fare against Phantom Lancer? Because
well, that doesn't matter. PL's he's picked
on the other team.
Never mind. Yeah, for a second there I thought it was banned, but it was banned previous game in the first phase.
Yeah.
So
I think it depends. It fares well because of the Gyro. I think they, if in this weird scenario that I proposed, if it is to work, then the IR and the Gyro complementing each other, a lot of magic damage coming out to deal with the likes of a PL. But let's not get carried away with the kind of that weird iteration.
Radiant team ban.
okay, so can we learn anything from the bans of the Timber, the Abaddon, and the Lesh? Or are those all just heroes that do okay against
protecting the Phantom Lancer? I think
Yeah.
the Abaddon is just because they respect it with the core Wisp so much.
But for the idea of what NIGMA brings to a game, they're all heroes
10
that
seconds
allow
remaining.
for mid-game snowballing, kind of you centralize your draft around it. You know,
5
Oracle
seconds
enables the
remaining.
Husker, the Troll, the +1 to go in. The Tusk is just insane damage and Roshan potential. Timber, Abba, and Lesh, they're all exit a laning phase. They're just accelerants to just map pressure because they're crossing the river and doing stuff. So yeah,
They have Phantom Lancer. You ban
sure, and you ban Timber Lesh. I'm just giving it a better way of saying it, Carl.
Team Secrets turn to
I
pick.
feel like I'm an 8th grade English class. You know, you got to write that book report. We're like, all right, well, it's really only worthy of a cliff notes, but we've got to finish the full 2 pages.
Yeah, the 2 pages sometimes it's kind of cool.
The
This is a favorite
Yeah.
once again.
We saw ET played by.
every offlaner can play ET.
He hasn't.
Seb was
He
doing it before
He said
it
he
even got
hasn't.
He
patched.
hasn't played it.
On any of his heroes.
Mind Control, no.
He has no
No.
Smurfs.
And doesn't have any Smurfs.
Smurfing
Mind Control
is a
is an honest
bannable
man.
offense.
Yeah, he's
Kyle.
honest.
There's no. Wait, is it really?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's that guy. He's always streaming like.
I know, and
accounts.
he's about to
He's
get
literally
banned.
boosting accounts.
It's
Is
we're
he
getting
getting
through
banned?
the banning.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of paperwork.
He's
a lot of admin.
All right.
Secrets turn to
Quick
pick.
draft though. Snap pick center into a snap pick center.
That is an interesting point though. Like, shouldn't pros kind of have to Smurf? That's why you hide your match history. Otherwise, playing it's open in the API.
I feel like if you're practicing in pubs, you're playing pubs which are public. You don't need to hide.
10
Yeah,
seconds
you're playing with
remaining.
9 other people.
Sure, but
That's a talking point for another day. We got a
Yeah.
draft of game 2, NIGMA and Secret, Carl, and we have a Sanking and an ET. So this, again, I'd love to see this be an IO ET lane, Sanking in some 4 or 3 capacity with Gyro mid. I think that it plays well to the evolution of this team with RTW and Miracle. And I really want to see them just try something a little bit more creative, game 1 up against Secret.
Sand King Core is quite nice against the Phantom Lancer though, with the cost.
It is
build.
true. Yeah,
you
for
just
sure.
play really aggressive in the lane. I just don't really buy it. I have yet to see Sand King have a ton of success. I feel like we've been saying this for like a decade. Like it just doesn't seem good ever.
He needs the 4 to do a lot of work. Like he needs that Willow. He needs that Murano. If you care about lane but not the game, like you need that +1 to really take the fight.
So far, I've seen a lot of these mid-game team fights. It's especially true of these 2 teams. And right now, it feels like Secret have a lot more in the bank. Like the initiation is just so much simpler with an Angel Swell onto one of the 3 heroes.
It's the opposite of that as well, though. In game 1, why did they lose? They could take fights,
5
but when they
seconds
took a
remaining.
fight and they didn't want to take it, they couldn't get out. Now they have PL,
Radiant
Centaur, and
team
Voice for
banned.
heroes in the game. So if Secret doesn't want to take a fight, they will always be able to disengage, reset, and then maybe go again. And when you have heroes like, you know, a Joe, BKB, he can fight with BKB, he can't. ET, if he goes, like, these are very on and off heroes from NIGMA. So, yeah, I like the idea of Secret, and it
10 seconds
clearly sees how they've read game 1 and why they lost, and they're adapting slightly. You know, we need to choose the fights we want to take. We can't just fall victim to, oh wait, NIGMA's now running at us, we're done. So I like the slight evolution there, but for NIGMA, they need to decide exactly where they're going with their heroes, unless it is just the simplicity of
I like the bans from Secret.
They are 1 game up, of course, as well. So this would be
that's
the.
why I want to see them get
Yeah.
creative.
Yeah.
They
Same.
have last pick.
That's so scary.
It
When your
actually-
draft looks this nice and you have last pick.
See,
5 seconds
I don't know who would play it.
remaining.
and I guess I know who would have played it, but Meepo last pick really strong. I think they need something addition. It looks like a Wisp support at the moment, and I'm just not sold on Wisp Gyro into the hero Secret have. Like Centaur considered a good counter pick, as is PL, and then a Void Spirit with the Inkswell just terrifies me. How are you going to stay alive
10
as a Wisp ET
seconds
support
remaining.
duo? How will you make active plays around the map?
You know what scares me
5
most is that
seconds
Kuro
remaining.
barely took any time in the bonus time for this draft. He knew exactly what he wanted, and he has got almost 2 minutes left. Team Secret on the 1 minute ticking down on their bonus time. Looking for a hero for Yapsur as per Kuro's bans.
Like,
What's still in the pool that blows up Tiny? I mean, Io. I mean,
Last game.
I love the
banned.
bands. I love the Willow and the Rubik bands for sure, because when you have Centaur, you want that. Even like, I'd say like an SD as well, if that's still available. Against
It
ET,
is?
you can purge everything from there, so he's not too tanky. You have the save.
Yeah, but that's real tricky.
But yeah, it is less map pressure. And
If it's the upside, I mean, he just could go Earthshaker, right?
oh, Sky.
Better.
Nice. Yeah,
We saw that in the first series. Seems somewhat underrated. Did it get changed at all?
Which one?
Skywrath. I think you just got a couple of tweaks, maybe a little more base intelligence.
Yeah, nothing too left field for sure.
it's the second time we saw him today.
10
So,
Really good setup.
A lot of burst.
Very strong with the Grimstroke as well. Like, this is actually an absurd amount of
5
burst damage you can
seconds
output.
remaining.
Double silence into Q spam.
But if they don't win their lane, then they go into a difficult spot of PL has to hit jungle. Because Gyro is that big magic damage. Deal with that.
Does
So-
Grimstroke PL lose a lane, though? Like, do either of these side lanes lose?
Sanking can pressure with the correct 4. I think maybe with the ET, it's
Yeah, because if that is the dual lane, I mean, that's most likely, right? The ET Sand King lane?
It's a lot of punches. We'll see with their last pick. There's too much like up in the air with NIGMA where they might be very creative or they could just go.
You can
also Centaur, isn't that one of those heroes that can actually do fairly okay by himself as well? And we know that Secret loves to leave Zai on an island, preferably on the safe lane island, and then go for the tri lane.
This wouldn't be for right now. Dual lanes are like optimal because Centaur plus Sky. Centaur is the perfect buffer for a big like int explosive hero like Sky, and eventually Centaur is sufficient with Vanguard and Retaliate behind tower, opens up Sky to then rotate into lanes that might not be so good.
Darkseer.
Okay.
Well, then we're going to have a little bit of a change of who's playing what.
It is the
Miracle Sand King!
Okay, this is kind of cool.
Did not expect that.
Not at all. I was honestly expecting something, but this is the creativity that I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is refreshing.
I think Mind Control is the only player in the world I'm happy to see on Darkseer, but this is ambitious. Like you have a really cool setup now with VAC into SK stun and SK mid, but the trouble is like, where are your item peaks, and you know how are you going to scale? Because the trouble is that Secret's lineup is just going to get more and more formidable. But the laning phase could be okay. Caustic build against Void Spirit, how he'll win that, right?
Yeah, Sand King will be able to pressure for sure. I would love to see the Iron play aggressive, potentially into the PL. Don't just accept some Centaur Skylane where they're bullying you. So initial 5-man smokes, entry into the game, get good vision out, find out the lanes will be critical for this game. But I love the creativity from NIGMA. It's just a breath of fresh air seeing them just pick different heroes rather than the standard like what they used to do pre-patch. So yeah. It's going to be a great game.
Will we have a game 3? Maybe.
I hope so, because Dota is real good.
Yeah, it is.
I think so. I like to see that because I think that they've been missing this sort of X factor. Like, oh shit, miracles on Sand King. This is something we haven't said about this team. We haven't been surprised by them.
Oh, people just saw the 1,000 game record on the GA. Sorry, I jumped ahead.
I mean, obviously, the standout thing has got to be that Miracle is on the mid Sand King.
What? No, it's obviously Elder Titan. That's always going to be the thing that stands out for me. ET every time, my favorite hero. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a 5 position, so he's going to get no farm, so we're not going to see the true fun. Sure. But we got to see that earlier. It still fits well, though. I actually like how it fits with like the amping up. I always love heroes like Gyrocopter because it works in both synergies with the way the aura works. Tanking works really well with it. Same thing with Darkseer, too. So some fun stuff coming out from Team NIGMA and Secret. They're going for more like your stable, kind of like these buffed heroes, and they do have good ways to actually like pick heroes off. But when I look at team fight, I'm terrified of this Team NIGMA draft.
Oh yeah, it's you got to be careful as a little old Scar after this game. I feel a few hits from a flat cannon and a stun, and Yapsor's going to be out of action every time.
And I see potential for like the late game too, right? This Darkseer versus PL. You're going to have a PL eventually later on too. That's going to be incredibly powerful. So we'll see how it all kicks off. NIGMA trying to pose himself a bit aggressive since they do have that ET Sand King strength, but it will just be a 2-for-2 exchange, it looks like. Matu's going to go check it out, but my control is going to claim that rune. I'm super excited to watch Sand King mid. I haven't watched Sand King mids, and it's been much more impressive than I thought it was going to be.
Because this hero, it had some sort of buffs on like the later talents, but nothing really that would change the early game, right? This hero didn't really get changed.
I actually play around now. Like if you do get an Aghanim and the way you can actually play in a distance with your epicenter and even with your shard, I'll be honest, I've actually seen the shard being a lot more impressive than I thought it was going to be too. There's actually a lot of fun plays and fun like crazy damage potentials you can do inside these fights, and it used to be one of the best heroes in the game versus PL for multiple different regions. Sure, Caustic doesn't apply to illusions like you stated that one crazy patch, but overall throughout the game it's an AoE control versus illusions. You've got two.
It's not fun. Any melee hero in a 1v1 against a Sand King is not going to have a great time, and it is just going to be one of those matchups as well that he should just when he's playing mid Void Spirit.
No, I mean, any melee hero, like you said, it's so difficult, especially if he gets 2 points in the Caustic too. It's like devastating. I don't know if he's going to full commit. Probably want to go for your standstill and stuff, but the lane is going to be tough. Nisha's going to have to find some ways to recover, maybe get some help. Let's see how these side lanes are doing. Centaur versus Gyro. I feel like we've seen this one a lot in particular since you have that big chunky base damage and great animation versus Gyro. Zai should do pretty well down here with the backup of Yapsor.
And in terms of the PL, obviously just got hit last night or so by some further nerfs, but overall still a net gain for this hero after 7.29, you feel? That the nerfs are not enough to take him away from being still one of the...
But still feels great, especially into certain matchups where they just eventually they might not be able to deal with illusions. So we're talking about how they do have some good ways of just this continuous damage, but if he gets too tanky, you know, if Sanking's dead, how the hell do they clear illusions? We'll get to that point later on, but yeah, this hero's still good. I mean, your item peak timings are just so damn good as mid.
And the river, Nisha, he's got a TP. Have they got the damage? They do. He's out of lane with no TP, ladies. Nice to see as well, you know, NIGMA, a team where it's not about tipping your enemies, it's about tipping your buddies, tipping your allies here. Some very nice friendly tips here from NIGMA this series that you got to take your hat off to.
Oh my, and he got both range creep denies too. Puppy even shows up trying to get
it hurts for Nisha.
That.
Oh, I mean,
and Puppy knows he has to TP. He had to TP mid here. He's like, I'm not gonna leave.
He's the mid now. I mean, Nisha's only got 8 CS. I think he's getting demoted. He's playing support Void Spirit now. Puppy's gonna start playing some mid Grim.
And somehow they've done a great job top, where a lot of times you see these Dark Series first 2 levels, there's like 10 denies on the safe laner. Matu has 1. My control's got 17 last hits.
Strike not quite having the range to catch him. As Nisha has returned, he's made the long walk back to mid.
Nice early bottle picked up from my control. We see Kuroki's actually the one carrying it. That's why he went over there to fill up that rune. This is really nice for Darkseers as well now too. Just being able to go for these earlier bottles. Of course, we've already seen the bottles on Darkseer, but just that much bigger of a benefit that you can apply pressure with bounties. I mean, I'm actually probably just going to continue watching this mid, because I feel like bottom, the gyro will start to recover soon, because Skywrath can't actually apply too much pressure, but mid is just, I don't know how Nisha recovers. He's going to have to like stack and just...
It's hard. I mean, we've seen these games before where a Void Spirit just has such a tough lane in the middle, and your impact is just so much harder to have for sort of the mid game. You're going to be under leveled, and you're not going to have sort of that fast item timing that Void Spirits love to rush towards orchids or ags or just something, or Yules to make plays with. It's going to be slow because of this tough matchup you've had.
Absolutely, and the one fortunate thing at least is like that is the only big stun that he has to worry about, right? It's the burrow strike. Besides that, you know, there's some missiles and stomps that he has to deal with in a vacuum, but those are not as easy to, you know, you can't really control a Void Spirit as easily without that. So at least Nisha does have that in the mid game that he will be able to just pierce right into whichever place that he does. Miracle.
Farming the small camp as well, some efficiency here. Gets behind the tower, grabs the creep wave, takes it over to the camp. He'll happily clear up both of these with the caustic finale.
Denies Nisha the potential to stack and farm that camp. He's even going to block it himself to make sure Nisha can't farm it. Going to get a ward up, and now he applies pressure onto the mid lane too. Great stuff that we're seeing from Miracle here in this mid lane.
This actually been looking very good so far. He gets the stomp off actually with the TP. Kuro's away. He's going to be able to get himself back to base.
Actually saved it. The salve and then instantly TPs right afterwards. It actually continues for a couple extra seconds, and he got that. Probably what saves him. Much stuff coming in from Team NIGMA.
And bottom lane, you know, it does look like we are starting to see after a slow struggle for RTW on the first few waves, he is catching up, and he's doing fine. You know, they brought the pressure lane into his face, and he's recovering. You know, he hasn't died. He's not fed down here. He's dealt with it. We'll see again on the replay. So let's see how much damage he does go down. So down to about 100 HP. Starts popping the salve. Let's see how much if they can do 100 HP. They did. Yeah, he went down to 20. He would have absolutely been there, just spot on. I mean, just something about NIGMA today where they're just completely turned on about everything. Nothing. They're giving it their full potential, and
they're turned on about everything.
Oh, I mean, I am watching them play. This is some brilliant stuff.
Yeah, no, it's phenomenal. It really is. Like, the gyro has recovered, you know, as you said, a few levels, but it's gotten better. And Skywrath overall as a hero, you're still kind of the same. You don't have this dominant early like laning presence. Your hero really does start to fall off quite hard. You've gotten buffs, but they're not really that big. He's gonna select some couriers though.
All right, yeah. Goodbye to your TP clarity and observer ward, Mr. GH. He's dead. All right, RTW and GH now in position to get kills onto Zai. If the lane wasn't sort of getting recovered as nicely as it was already, now getting kills on the offlaner as well.
so much magic damage. Just the overcharge bumping up the gyrocopters from Rocket Barrage. Even a 1,200 HP hero like Centaur just chewed through. And Skywrath has to watch. Skywrath does not contribute anything besides just a little slow that comes up from that Propulsive, which is the ability that got buffed.
I was going to be careful. Now the level 6 has been hit. They've got that extra bit of fire. Opportunity arises for a kill.
Yeah, I know he really wants the Vanguard because it really is like the best item you can get on Centaur, but there's a lot of arguments for a hood that might be necessary this game. There's just so much magic that's Enigma.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, Vanguard is what he's got queued up, but... You're absolutely right. A hood is going to go a long, long way here this game.
It feels really good on Centaur, though. I do have to reiterate. Like with Retaliate and with the Vanguard, I've seen like everybody doing it now too. It feels like it just could be appropriate for him to actually go for it. And maybe even pipe eventually in this game. It's Miracle. Almost has his Blink Dagger finished. So he's gonna go for the rush, just playmaking. He's not gonna go for some type of greedy like Aghanims, it looks like. He wants to get really active, and I like that. Because he has Ion Shell too. So he can just run around the map with Ion Shell, put this Blink looking for plays, while Io and Gyrocopter can relocate and join every single one of these fights too, and just farm. So I like that he's gonna go for this, and hope he does continue to go for the Blink. Then you can hunt PL. He can actually just find catches on PL, because PL, as we know, it takes a
CW. They're coming in with the stampede. They're charging him down. Can they keep him alive? The charges come out. Strange keeping him alive for now. BO3 comes in from Miracle. The counter plays there from NIGMA. As Zion Puppy will fall, NIGMA keep ILTW alive.
Tower is under attack.
I think Miracle was bottling GH as he TPs into, so those little bit of extra increments of healing coming from the IO tether. It gets amplified. It gets 4-0. NIGMA, 0 mistakes so far, and they've even forced PL to jungle. This is just all looking.
This is some crazy stuff. A Miracle just casually 4.6k net worth at the moment. 1k ahead of that of Nisha.
He's got Blink, he's got Fairy's Trinket, he's got Epi. He's going to be killing anybody really on the map if he connects.
See if they're able to get the jump on Nisha.
He's going to wait for the Darks here, it looks like. Maybe just the +1, that little extra control of the vacuum.
They need it. They need it. Wouldn't be quite enough damage between him and the ET, so
no.
The third was needed. Still,
there's no points in the aura yet on Kuro either. He's gone for just, he's 5 positions, so he can't.
Radiant's top tower is
see what sort of a jump they can get. This is all under the ward, so that the blink reveal will crit. Nisha actually get the jump on Kuro. Kuro. I mean, he's actually able to walk away. Now goes in with the bow trying to stop down Nisha. He's going to jump in for the kill. He's not going to get it. Kuro's going to live. Oh no! They just can't get anything this game, Secret.
Radiant's top tower.
And now he may have revealed the fact that there's a ward on the high ground there too, with the way that he moved instantly to when Kuro was.
Oh, Kuro, I mean, he's just not dying this game, Kuro. Look at that play up top of the healing salve in the river. Nisha not able to finish him off. He's unkillable, Kuro.
And yeah, look at this, the D ward. Immediately, like I was saying, he knows because of the way that Nisha moved toward him and the way that they've reacted running away. He's going to be able to get a D ward, full suit, and now he takes a point in aura to be able to buff up, all that magic damage his team has. This is really good stuff. Enigma
are fortified. Radiant's courier has been.
Look at a courier.
Value. Able to get this that is so good versus Ultimator, and he's got Overcharge behind him, so it's buffed. It's well amplified versus that PL2. They got a deep ward as well to be able to watch. Secret is not fight ready. They can just keep running at them right now with this early Blink Dagger.
Sitting trying to catch Nisha, and missiles heading his way, but they won't dive in for him, NIGMA.
Forced him completely out of the right side of the map, just wasted like a full minute of his time to go TP to jungle. They'll take the Ancients away. They're making all the right moves. Dizai, he did go for Hood, by the way. He did not go for that thing.
It makes so much sense,
after. It's like all magic damage.
It really is. It really is. Yeah, absolutely needs that. The turn to the fights. The Nigma's heroes getting in against Jaya, especially against the mid-sanking Miracle, kicking out an insane amount of magical damage.
Another power rune for Miracle. Has he gotten... Is that every single one, I think? I want to say. Did he give up any of them just yet? I don't believe so.
Regeneration.
Seeing as well was the fastest driver timing. Not too surprising though, seeing as how well his lane went. And he is the mid-sanking. He's going to have that boost to farm, especially with those cute little moves he made around the small creep camp.
It's the fact that he's so high level too. Like he's got max sandstorm, max burrow. He's got, of course, as we said, the fairy trinket. So it's like PL when he shows up, these illusions are gonna die pretty quickly. Include like an ion shell as well being thrown in. An easy recovery for Secret by any means.
I mean, that is the thing. So for Matu, what's his game plan? When he's got the diffusal blade, is he turning up or can he not? You know, when does he start thinking about getting involved? Is it after the first time, or does he have to get a few items in before he can fight into NIGMA?
I think he needs both the hood and the diffusal before he even wants to get anywhere near the fights. But even then, it doesn't look easy at all. I think Secret has to play some type of pick-off game and then try to like outnumber NIGMA or just catch them really out of position. Because I think if NIGMA's ever grouped up just like it started to look like in that last game, there's no way Secret can battle into this. Even too, on top of everything, like my control, he's just maxing it out. So just call down with the Sanking stun, with the Earth Splitter as well. It's gonna be tough. Secret, they are smoked now. I believe they have the blink and the Atos, so now they can actually make plays.
Stampede in, they're gonna get the jump onto ITW with a bit of a sick flares and enough burst to take him out. It's not, he's gonna get relocated onto the side, but Matu's there waiting. Surge was the next two targets, so I'm with the setup, but Secret a little hesitant on committing into this, even with the RTW dead.
Miracle, he epied floor.
Well, the floor, they're gonna find the other. They're gonna be able to jump over, get the grab on the mark, control the setups there with the Remnant. There, they get the vacuum wall, the power's going up, let's combo, baby! That's the combo onto the four of them, as they take down three, and Miracle's not done yet, he's running down Matu. Matu and Yapso, they've got to get out of there. As there we have it, as you were saying before, these points in the vacuum, the setups there, mind control. He didn't need an epicenter, you know.
That's the one that hit the floor. That was only a burrow strike as well as the caustic and the sandstorm.
Oh, he doesn't need no epicenter. The floor can have it.
Everybody just wants to see that vacuum.
Oh, let's see that.
That was just way too pretty. But the Aerocopter, they surprised him with the blink and the Atos reveal. Don't think it's gonna catch them again though. That was so pretty. I miss seeing Sanking Darkseer together. You know, that's how you make Darkseer work, Kyle. Or that's how you make Sanking work. You just pick Darkseer with it.
Sanking Darkseer, it's
combo.
I mean, yeah, there was always one of the sort of finest duos to have with the Darkseer, but obviously not in on this.
They're all here.
They're in onto RTW. Can they burst through? Mr. Flo's going to get dropped down. IO will kill him. Get his spells off to come back. And NIGMA's going to be able to turn this one around. They've found two. They're looking over towards Sonoma. They've got the catch on Zuck.
About to. He shows up in the back. He does kill off Kuroki, but now he's being chased. He used his dot ball. 5 seconds remaining on it. They're actually going to throw the wall.
Yeah. Start getting the illusions working on. So Miracle's going to have the jump up in a bit of time. Yeah, it's ready. But do they have detection? They don't, but do they need it? They do. The vacuum not quite able to catch him as Matu. He's able to walk out of there. The Invis rune saving his life. Oh, I say that. Miracle's actually still chasing, and Matu does show the... And he's fine. Yapso's by his side. He'll get out of there. 12-4 now, though, for Team NIGMA. And they're at a 4K advantage.
Gyro survives, doing all that big front. Look at how he's building on ILTW. A casual cloak thrown in there, give him the Sage for that.
Look at this.
Health too from the IO. I love the little extra stats.
I mean...
Oh my god. I mean... ET Spirit on top. Oh, just beautiful.
Oh my goodness, let's look at that. Vacuum sucked. Good way. 4 heroes straight away.
Somehow Yapsworth's right on the cusp of it too. That could have just been all 5.
They got to watch out for those combos. Now back in the action, Yapso does die. RTW to pick up a kill on the mid lane. Miracle's already making the jump in onto Matsu. The vacuum, surging Miracle up as well with the Sandstorm down. Matu's out with a doppel.
It's continuing to slow him down. Every time he shows his face, I'm seeing Miracle. No hesitation, he just runs where the PL is located to just stop him from farming. ILTW continuing to keep that.
Top net worth at the moment, 4, 1, and 3.
Nisha. Aggressively does a chance, but there's a catch.
Strike into the stop. Still got a step available. In fact, he's got 2. He's up to the high ground. If they've got anything divided, they have mind control of the vacuum. He's got another step. He's still running, but Kuro's chasing. Kuro's ready to give some punches. He's out to the side with the Assimilate, but he's got no further escape as Nisha goes down. Another kill for NIGMA.
Oh, are they going to join their relocate too? I think Secret wanted to go, but yeah, NIGMA's too close. They smoke immediately. They're going to opt against looking for the battle there.
I mean, they're just running at them.
On the hunt.
There's no Nisha. Dead for 30 seconds. NIGMA's got the numbers.
Miracle. Lights down for 8 seconds. Can't quite get it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
More time wasted though. Matu does not want to just sit in the trees up here.
So many moves, so much action coming out. I think you'll be forgiven for thinking we were anywhere further into the game. We're only 18 minutes in. But already some of the items and timings that NIGMA's hitting and these kills, 14 against the 4. It's looking very spooky for Secret. They've got to try and find some sort of recovery plan here, but Nisha, Zai falling behind. Now Nisha, on the Void Spirit, as we said, that this is not an easy hero to catch back up. He's 1-4-0.
Really struggling, and they're struggling to really do much of anything. I'm seeing, like, Puppy doesn't want to really show himself. He's also gone for a fighting build rather than a pushing out build. So who's going to really push out lane so much on their team? They have Skywrath and Grimstroke has level 1 Q. So the Centaur probably has to show in lane sometimes, which just completely removes any of their actual ganking potential. So it's just tough for Secret to just play the macro game at the moment versus Team NIGMA, who just is looking for battles. They're just running at them. TW finishes the full hood. He's like, I'm only dying because of Skywrath and this Centaur burst damage. Screw it. Just tank up through it.
That's some white hood, yeah. He's a tanky boy. Smart builds here. Charges straight in. He feels right now. He's running up into the 3 of them. Turn the stampede. He's going to get the save here. The heel comes through. Charge you getting on the back of 4 now. He's got the vacuum ball is dropped down. As RTW finally falls, there'll be a buyback from Zai. Miracle's just running down. Match's got no escape. As they lose them 1 by 1. Still alive, Zai trying to finish him off, but Miracle comes back in with the bar strike, jumping it up to Zai. Zai will fall. Nisha with another astral step crosses across Mind Control, but it isn't enough damage. Mind Control still alive as Miracle just runs down Nisha. Bar strike onto the Void Spirit as it's 4 dead on Secret. They're not done yet. Miracle into the base. He's ready to step dive in tier 4s. They've got the center with the Eels buying time for the bar strike. He'll be silenced, but it doesn't matter. They just chase it down with the right clicks. The towers are hitting hard, and Miracle will die for this dive. Puppy coming in as well. Can they punish GH and Mind Control? As Nisha's chasing, he's coming with the buyback for this. As GH is looking pretty dead. Mind Control will manage to TP out. GH, he will go down slowly, but surely here is Puppy and Nisha chasing down. Distance Shrink buys him a bit of time, but he'll still fall. So, I mean, flashy moves from NIGMA. A little too overexcited though from him diving in. Miracle's aggressive dive on Yapsaw does cost him and GH's life.
Great glyph usage there, we'll call it. As they catch them a little bit off guard. Overextending. ILTW almost gets saved. I think it was Yapsaw who comes in clutch with the 8 toes, stopping the relocate initially. That fight could have been a full-blown disaster, but it still was pretty one-sided.
We'll see this dive again. I mean, as you say, what was the thoughts there? You can't underestimate how much these tier 4s do hurt. Few tower hits flying through, and there's... Back in the action. The setup's been there. The wall gets dropped down. Side falls Puppy as well. Matthew's got to run. As NIGMA, they're chasing him down. The hard hits coming out from Kuro. As Matthew's trying to run, Miracle's going to be able to find him again with the Burrow Strike. Double kill for Miracle. As we see, I mean...
He can't show up to... It just feels like he can't show up to fights. Like the ET aura, it ruins these type of agi heroes so badly, and with the type of game state that it's been, like NIGMA just battles right through. They use RTW, but who cares? They're taking these fights still. It's Miracle on the chase again.
So he can control Nisha long enough. He has got the Eels. Nisha's up to the high ground. Mind Control's in with the jump. He's going to be able to get the vacuum action on the 2 of them. And they're going to continue to chase. Miracle's in with another Burrow Strike over towards Yapsaw. Yapsaw's gone.
Are respawning though. Zai is about to come back too.
Nisha going to get back in on this. He's going to be able to get the catch onto Kuro with the Inks well set up from Puppy. Thinking the fastest defense. So Miracle's got an episode. He's ready to go back in, but Nisha's off to the side. Miracle not quite able to make the jump in time as Nisha's out.
immediately again, though, just right back onto the enemy side, not looking to push out the side lanes so much, just keep looking for this battle, force these reactions. That looks like no. That looks like no. That's gonna be okay. They got the pipe, as they finished a while ago on mind control. They're feeling really strong around this area. Even though they don't have the epi, they're still feeling that confidence.
It's got to be worrying for Secret. I mean, the last two team fights, we've very impressive, sort of showing the trust that RTW has in the team to sort of clean things up, even if he does go in first. You know, no fear from him at all as he voluntarily initiates both times, knowing that even if he does get fully focused and taken down, the rest of NIGMA are going to be able to get the clean. These moves, they do seem coordinated. This isn't him just going in, you know, like a headless chicken. This is planned moves from NIGMA.
No, he knows that he needs to be the one to eat the brunt of the spells. And it allows those big counter initiations to Elder Titan, Sand King, and Darkseer. They can connect with all those big spells. He's baiting Secret to stack up for that big vacuum. I'm sorry? We'll be alright, but he will lose his ward immediately. I mean, they're also high level too on this side of NIGMA, I'm noticing. Like level, ILTW is actually 15. GH is 15 because ILTW actually start. Yeah. The supports and everybody else has been amplified so much, and it makes a big difference. Like ET, he's got max aura. It actually makes such a big difference when you're playing at this point in the game, and you can just negate all that magic resistance, all that armor away from the PL in particular. And now PL, we do see Matu, he's got the shard. So now maybe he can play from a distance where he's throwing lances, and then he can wait till the ET or one of these annoying heroes is taken out of the fight, and then he can start getting on top of them again. That is... It's tough. It's an
Miracle. Just gonna pop the stampede. And he's gone.
No hesitation. Miracle immediately gets to the top, TP's mid, starts running over to connect to his team, just looking for the next battle every single moment.
I mean, they might look to dive this. Mind control surging himself forward. Gonna get the cooldown. Another guess, 26-9 here, 25 minutes in.
I love the bloodthirst. There's no passivity coming out from Team NIGMA. It's literally just everyone is looking for fights. No one's like even thinking about the lanes because they've got a Darkseer. It just naturally pushes in with the Ion Shells. They're just looking, just swinging from one side of the map to the other. No space. And Matu just never has space to actually look at what's happening already from NIGMA. Love it.
I'll look to take the safer tier 2s here as Secret sort of left stuck in the base now.
It's just getting harder to do. Maybe we feel like the peak, but it's not. He's playing into some natural counters, the itemization that NIGMA's building up to just enable this gyro more too. The max solar press, they're gonna have to tag into this village, the Darkseer eventually. They got pipe. So many different things to just ensure that they're gonna win all these fights. That PL will not ever become that true carry. Nag's already finished on Sanking now too, so even further chances of an initiation rate.
Forcing out the fortification here from Secret. RTW keep pushing on. Just casually tanking the Mystic Flare. He doesn't care. Tanking the Mystic Flare. He doesn't care.
Get healed up real quick. And well behind.
One touch the face of the game as RTW diving in for the cleanup. Poppy's gone as well. Matty's going to try and jump his way back to the front. They're going to call this one as GG is called. NIGMA take game 2. And with that, the score is now 0 against Team Secret. And Team Secret that was top of the league last season. Team Secret that was second at the major. NIGMA with a new change to the roster. ILTW in the carry. Miracle in the mid. And it looks phenomenal, Fog. You don't get to see this sort of debut after a roster change look this good ever, really.